All right, so this is everything gotten from the Hudson Valley Renegades and the Aberdeen Ironbirds on August 14th, 2025. This was, despite it being a midweek day game, it was a promotional day. It was an alternate identity day to a former team called the Newburgh Gorhams. Newburgh being a town that's not too far away from the stadium in Wappinger Falls. And the giveaway was this jersey. Now, I'm not normally a jersey guy at all. Um, but when it's a giveaway and it's a replica of a team that, existed all the way back in the 1800s, 1886 to 1882, they existed. I'll gladly take it. So here's the giveaway. They did have it in different sizes. Obviously, I'm large. So there it is. This is what they wore. This is what the Renegades wore today. Number 25 on the back, just for the year. The sleeve, I believe, has Heritage Financial Credit Union as the sponsor, and I don't know if there's anything on this side. There's not. But yeah, that was the giveaway today. Really cool to have a midweek day game also be a giveaway and an alternate identity day. And then they had discounted I'm combining words. Newburgh Gorhams merch in the store, so I bought the hat. I was actually surprised the Renegades did not wear this today. They wore their normal Hudson Valley raccoon tail hat. I was expecting them to wear this, but I'm still happy with this anyway because, like I said, it's a team that really did exist at one point. So I am happy to have some representation of a team that's been, long gone. Kind of like last year, went to Jacksonville and I bought a team that was like the Seagulls or something from like the early 1950s. Same kind of deal. I'm always happy to have these sort of hats. It just kind of surprised me that on Newburgh Gorham's Day that they didn't actually wear these hats that they made for it. These other two hats are older. I've had them for a while, but they've just kind of been sitting here. I haven't made a video. This is the Cider Donuts. They've done this alternate identity for a few years. See a donut with an apple and glass of, or not glass, but a bottle of apple cider with HV. See it's green with the brim on it, with the orange brim. Every hat has a brim, unless it's the Yankee with no brim. There we go. And this is their Copa night. I can't tell you what the actual name of this is. I forget. But this is Rascal in kind of the Hispanic sort of whatever you want to call that. Again, I'm not sure the name and don't want to try and then completely mess it up. The light blue brim. See, he's kind of bordered in a light blue as well. The front is black. The back is red. So those are the hats. I mentioned the raccoon tail logo. That's still a hat that I do need to buy. I figured I'm getting the Newburgh hat today, but given that the HV with the raccoon tail is their primary that they use most of the time, I feel like plenty of time to still get that hat. So, I've probably seen that hat twice and I still haven't gotten it, but I'll get it eventually. And this is the logo I'm talking about. This came from online orders, not the stuff gotten today, but previous online orders. They give you stickers in the mail and then 10% off the Renegades team store. This is like a couple years old at this point, but I wonder if that code still works. I might have to try that. This is event parking. You see the Renegades logo there at the bottom. Pocket schedules, I grabbed a couple of them. Hang on. This is a little bit different shape of a pocket schedule here. Well, I'm going to have to put you guys down, I think. All right, we back. So we have an ad there. We have the schedule here, 2025. And you have your giveaways right there and, all of the promotions at the bottom. Then you have a mix of ads, days of the week promotion, Rascals Kids Club. There's the seating chart and everything else. So, what haven't I shown yet? We have I was going to say roster sheet. It's more of a lineup sheet. It does show the rest of the roster, so I guess it still is. But you see August 14th, 135. That's the lineup for Aberdeen with all the rosters and stuff. And it even shows who made a rehab. Rodolfo Martinez did make a rehab appearance. Then here's the Renegades side. Carson Coleman was also on rehab. He did make an appearance. It even shows the retired numbers. Jackie Robinson, Kevin Brown, and Wade Davis all have their numbers retired. It's cool that they include that. Nothing on the back. And I rarely get these, but it was sort of included. This is just kind of like a stat sheet. I'm sure there are people who care more about this than I do. I'm just not huge into like the nitty gritty sort of stats. I'm just more of a get out there and hit the ball sort of person, I guess. I have the cup today, Hudson Valley Renegades. I've never really seen that logo before. You see collage of pictures as we go around here. QR code, which I don't think works because it's scratched up, as you see. Then we're back to the front. So I will say, if you do go to Hudson Valley this year and you see this cup, be very careful because you see the scratch here and scratch here. That was literally just from putting it in the cup holder at the stadium. So obviously whatever the wrap or whatever on here is not on there very well. So I would be very hesitant to like put it in a dishwasher or anything. I would say definitely hand wash this. That's what I plan on doing, because this damage right here was literally just from putting it in a cup holder at the stadium. So anyway, the last two things I believe we have here are the card packs. This one is this year's 2025. This one is 2023. I got this back around the time that I saw them on the road in Greenville during the championship. That's also around the same time I got this and this, and all the online order stuff was back in 23. But I just didn't really have an opportunity to show it off till right now, because I'm actually just now getting to making that video a couple of years later, because in 23 I just didn't have a lot of time. But yeah, so we have two new ones here. If you do go to the store, these are kind of hidden. I assume it's for security reasons. They have a couple old card packs out on display, but the 25 is kind of like just behind the counter. You either need to ask for it or the guy, tells you it. Because I was looking at the older packs, and then the guy's like, "Oh, we do have the 2025," and it's kind of like from behind the counter. So, yeah, so it's probably brand new as well. I don't think it was listed on their website or anything yet either. But anyway, I will be right back after I open these up. Okay, we're going to start with the older one here in 2023. Clay Aguilar is our first guy here. Ryan Anderson. Juan Carella. Harrison Cohen. Bailey Dees. Indigo Diaz. Carlos Gomez, Chase Hampton, Zach Messenger, Jack Neely, Nick Pasaric, Drew Thorpe, Joel Valdez, Luis Velasquez, Mason Vineyard, Danny Watson, Tyrone Yulee, Antonio Gomez, Rafael Flores, Ben Rice, Marcos Cabrera, Benjamin Cowles, Caleb Durbin, Spencer Henson, Luis Santos, Eduardo Torrielba. Okay, I actually wasn't too far off, but it was still wrong. Alexander Vargas, Kyle Battle, Anthony Garcia, Spencer Jones, Grant Richardson, Aldenis Sanchez, Aaron Polensky, Sergio Santos, manager, Preston Clybourne, pitching coach, Kevin Martier, hitting coach, Rob Benjamin, defensive coach. Derek Woodley, another defensive coach. First half champion celebration card. That's pretty cool. And Rascal and Rosie. All right, that's 23. Now we're going to move on to 25. All right, here we are in 25. The first person here is George Lombard Jr., Cole Ayers, Will Bryan, Kyle Carr, today's starting pitcher, Bryce Cunningham, Ocean Gabonia, Jeff Gilbert, Josh Gross, Ben Hess, Chris Keene, Sebastian Keene, Matt Keating, Carlos LaGrange, Hayden Murda, Houston Murill, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, Tony Rossi, Bryce Warrecker, Tyrone Yulee, Tomas Frick, Omar Martinez, Edison Vivas, Jose Colmenares, Brenny Escanio, Parks Harbor, Kobe Morales, Josh Moylan, Duncan Pastor, Rock Riggio, Kiko Romero, Jace Avina, Jackson Castillo, Luis Durango, Anthony Hall, Brendan Jones, manager James Cooper, hitting coach Tom DeAngelis, Dimitri Kokoris, pitching coach, Caleb Hamilton, defensive coach, and Therese Oliveras, defensive coach. They always seem to have two defensive coaches. Anyway, that is it as far as I know for now. Like I said, I do eventually want to get that raccoon tail, their primary logo hat, because I've probably seen it probably 3 times, probably twice at home and one in Greenville for sure. I just, I had my sights set on the Newburgh hat today. I didn't really feel like buying another one, but as I said, the raccoon tail one is their primary, so I'm sure I have plenty of time whenever I visit again, so that'll probably be when I get that. But anyway, that is it for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later. All right, this is the final segment here of the stuff. There's a couple of repeats here from my online order that I got. I have already shown you the pocket schedule, and here is the 10% off type coupon. And yeah, so the other thing we have here is the Newburgh Gorhams. This stuff was all on sale. There's no back to this. It's just plain, but it's a black shirt, Newburgh Gorhams. Apparently made by this company Retro brand, and the Renegades were of course selling it. So pretty cool. Once again, team that founded in like 1886, disbanded in 1892. I believe those are the years. Another thing we have is a media guide from 2023. Interesting to me because they, to my knowledge, have not had media guides for any other years, including this year. They don't have one for this year or last year, but we have one for 2023, which when I was looking, back in 2023, I'm pretty sure this was not available. So I genuinely wonder if this, was a media guide meant for actual media, and they just had leftovers, and it being outdated, they didn't know what to do with it, so they put it on sale on the store. That is, I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that is just my theory, because they don't have any current year ones, and the only one that they do have is a couple years old. So we have this nice little clear cover as well. We have the 2023 schedule over there. Now, as far as media guides go, it's actually pretty thin, and maybe it's just because I just filmed a video of the Yankees media guide, which was 532 pages. That might, um, you know, that might be why this feels so light, but it's still 120 pages. I believe the Altoona one was 200 something, and York, I don't remember what York was, but still a couple hundred, few hundred pages. So, it's 120 pages still, um, but it's still, still a lot. I'm not sure what we're talking about with TV here. They are, as far as I know, not on any of these channels. I don't know why those are necessarily in there. But generally, we have, newspaper, television, radio, batting practice times, cool things like that. South Atlantic League media contacts, all about the manager and the rest of the coaches here. Managerial history, as you can see. And keep in mind, this is once again 2 years ago. This is not current, but still cool to own one of these. And it's not gonna take too long, I don't think, because it is just 120 pages. That's kind of short for a media guide. Still, full of information, obviously. There's a map here of where all the teams are. All-time roster here. Well, let me switch hands. Pitching. Okay, so we went from hitting to pitching now. Every single person. Head-to-head records. Of course, a lot of these in the 90s, they did not face a lot of these teams. A lot of them don't start till mid 2000s here, and then obviously into the 2010s. Individual hitting records, team hitting records, individual pitching records, hitting leaders, pitching leaders, top 10. Here's a little thing about the Copa Nights. I was going to say here's your dates, but then I remember this is 2 years ago. Masked phenoms. I didn't know that's what it meant. I don't know what a lot of these names mean, but apparently that's what that one means. Masked phenoms. Did not know that. Miscellaneous history here. Miscellaneous accomplishments. And that's it already. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what the story is behind these media guides, but it was cheap. It was on sale. I like getting the media guides. They're fun to look at. So yeah, there it is. And that's the only one I've ever seen them sell from it's from 2 years ago too. So like I said, I don't know how much weight my theory that I explained at the beginning really has, but it might be true. I don't know. I didn't see any ads in here necessarily, which means it quite possibly could be the same thing that they actually give to media. I do not know. But it might not have ever been intended to be sold. But anyway, That is it for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.